It's the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by our special guest, Tim Olson. How's it going, man?
It is going quite well, actually. Everyday grind, everyday struggle, that kind of thing.
Sweet. Drop the link to the campaign for people to check out. It has been quite some time since we last had you here. Would you take a moment to share your, more or less your origin story, like how?
Oh, the summary of the book. The summary of the book is quite my origin story, or the actual
yours, and what eventually led you. How you were raised, what you were into at the time.
That's a lifelong thing. It started when I was a kid. I think it was a camping trip. My brother had X-Force #1 and he didn't like it, so he gave it to me.
X-Force #1?
Yes, X-Force #1 is what it really kind of kicked it off. I mean, there was stuff in there that was before then that was I kind of had interest in comic books, but I didn't think, I definitely want to draw comic books. It was not until X-Force #1 that I knew I wanted to draw just like what I'm looking at. I wanted to do what this guy does. So, for many years I really didn't have any direction, but in recent years I definitely felt like with the birth of crowdfunding becoming popular, it definitely kind of brought it back, and definitely kind of got me back into making, actually taking comic books more seriously. And now I know people that are actually just as serious as me. So. But definitely early Image Comics, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because without Peter Laird, Kevin Eastman, Dave Sim, all these people, we wouldn't have indie comic books.
Speaking of Eastman and Laird, did you happen to take advantage of? I think it was on Kickstarter. Kevin Eastman had a book. I think it's called Twisted Tales.
He did. No, I did. This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Really? Hold on for just a sec. Let me see if I can find it.
Kevin freaking Eastman. Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I can find it, because I'm pretty sure it was called Twisted Tales. Crap. Hope it's not one of those cases where I have a hard time finding it. Actually, maybe it would take too long to be worth it. Maybe I should share with you after the fact later. Because the whole reason I even backed it is because it was Eastman. His name recognition, the fact that I'm a big fan of TMNT. You can still hear me, right?
I can still hear you, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, that was the whole reason I even backed it, because I was really into TMNT. That's basically how one of the key books that got me into comics.
Oh yeah, I got volume 1 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original.
You got the original #1?
It's actually 1 through 7.
1 through 7?
1 through 7, and it has the one shot, the Raphael one shot.
Oh really? Oh, you got that?
Yep.
And did you shit, what was it? Did you get them when they were in like the magazine format and they were black and white covers, which eventually went to like let's see, it was like black and white covers, and then they had a touch of a splash of color, like it would be red, for example.
Well, it's in a really big, thick book, but yeah, they have kind of an introduction at the end. I mean, not introduction, but some. You read the comic book, and then it's got some page talking about the making of that issue.
Right, exactly. I don't know why, but I'm suddenly having trouble finding it. Oh well. Maybe next time I connect with you, I can show you. Yeah. But yeah, I rarely ever back things from Kickstarter. But when I heard about that and saw it, I figured, well, this is something I should get.
Related news. Julia Strain died this year, I guess.
I'm sorry, say again?
What's her name? Julia Strain.
Oh yeah. She passed away.
She passed away this year.
I'm not exactly sure what from because I didn't look into it, but
I think she always had health problems.
Really? Oh, actually, I did read something about it. It was like she had a horse riding injury or something.
Oh, really?
And I think it caused amnesia, so she totally forgot about like the first half of her life.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
And that combined with, I think, possible physical issues resulted in her passing.
So she died not remembering the first half of her life?
Well, I don't know what fraction of it or how much she forgot, but as I understand it, was like most of her childhood, at least. I didn't research too much into it, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, because I loved Heavy Metal Fact as well.
Heavy Metal 2000. Yeah, that had a pretty good soundtrack.
Did you ever play the video game Heavy Metal Fact 2?
No, I've seen it though. The movie and the soundtrack are cool, but that would look kind of silly looking.
Yeah, I enjoyed that video game. I played it for quite a while. Never was able to pass it though. I got stuck. I'd love to be able to play it again. But it was many years old, probably over 10 years old. So I'm not even sure my current system will still support it. I don't think it will.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. How long has your idea for Melvin #1 been?
Oh, Melvin? Melvin has had different it's been different variations over the years. As a kid, you come up with a silly idea. You don't like your teacher, so it was originally Melvin the Teacher Slayer or something, some stupid thing like that. And then, ideas of trying to make it really serious when I got older, like when I was a teenager and I didn't, crowdfunding didn't exist, so you draw with your friends, but your friends then would get bored and you're still into it, but they're not, so you wouldn't go anywhere.
Oh, right.
And then you try to think, oh well, I'll use like a print house, like the ones like a copy house, a copy place. You go, you make copies of it.
Oh, like Kinko's or
Kinko's, yeah.
Copy
And you don't have the budget for that kind of thing, and so it's just like you make one and it's like amateur looking, and it's like, they didn't have like Mixum that back then, so.
Well, even so, did you have enough to make a few copies and then pass it out to family and friends?
Yeah, well, yeah, I kind of did. Or I tried to sell one to somebody, or
Did you get a lot of encouragement to continue?
Um, I got encouragement to draw, but yeah, my parents weren't really big fans of comic books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were they of the belief that, comics are the devil, or they promote violence?
Oh no, they wouldn't. That you would, yeah, doing a comic book, you couldn't make a living doing that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so, is Melvin based on anyone in particular or inspired by anyone in particular?
So I think I got in trouble one time and got sent to detention. And it was a piece of paper. It was on the wall.
Huh?
And it had different. It was this It kind of, they had a face on there doing different expressions. They had mad, angry, sad,
Oh, right.
and it looked kind of like a ripoff of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, okay.
So I used to sit there and just kind of draw the face, and then I made this character, and I had a Mad magazine card set at the time, and I remember kind of looking at through the cards, and there was the first cover, the first issue, and it had these two parents there like, oh god, it's ugly, it's hideous, what is it? And some kid's picking his nose, going, it's Melvin. And I just I'll just call the character Melvin. And just, different variations. And recent years, I'm a big fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Ever since I saw that Disney movie, that the John Carter of Mars.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's another planet, different things are possible. Like John Carter could jump miles, in the air, and miles forward. Kind of like the Incredible Hulk and how he jumps, or he can kill a beast with one punch, or there's like these all these possibilities that are not possible on Earth. And I thought, why don't I just reformat Melvin and make him into like like a sci-fi fantasy kind of thing. And the rest is history. That would be the current version of Melvin right now.
Okay. So you had a previous campaign, and
Yeah, and I got wise advice about ending that and refunding people, because apparently I didn't have I didn't I was barely even done with the art pages, and it's a good thing I did, because it was like a few months ago when I actually I think it was like a few months ago where I actually got.
Oh, I thought your original one was still listed on campaigns you're on.
I don't know. I think I had them close that down or something.
Oh, okay. Well, usually closed campaigns are still visible. Unless,
I can't answer that. I don't know how that.
yeah, I don't know exactly either.
But however, I think I got this one pretty well figured out, because we're beginning to letter the pages right now.
So when you closed the previous campaign and worked to refine it, what would you say is like your lessons learned, or what do you think was needed to?
The lesson I learned was that you should have a big part of the book done. Like, for instance, have all the artwork done first, and that way all you have to do is worry about lettering. Proofreading the script and lettering, and then putting the words on. What was the other question?
Oh, well, that was mainly it.
I just
whatever lessons you learned from your first attempt, and what.
Also, don't think of ideas you'd like to do and then put those on the campaign. Have things that you already have gotten done, and then offer those in your campaign. because I was thinking of ideas before I knew I could do them or not.
Oh, you mean like do some research and see what the feasibility of?
Already have them. In other words, to go get them made and then promise them in those campaigns, or
Oh, you mean
yeah,
like stickers or patches or
covers done by certain artists. Make sure you get them done by those artists first before you actually put the. Because there's artists I wanted to work with, and then I couldn't get a hold of them, and then I look like an idiot for promising them on my campaign.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's really important.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to get the artist buy-in, and that's actually wise advice. Getting the finished product so that you can promote it and say, "Hey, check out who I got on my project."
Yeah. Well, I gave Sticker Mule a shot, and so I've already used them before, and once I'm gonna order again, I'm gonna go for there's like 200 buttons for $64.
Oh,
That's a pretty good price.
you're doing those pins or buttons you said?
Buttons, yeah, and I think stickers are a little more expensive, but I'm gonna try to get like 200 of those also.
Did you do buttons for the original campaign? Did you already have a bunch made? Is that how you?
I don't remember. I don't quite remember all the stuff. I knew that we were working on the pages, and we hadn't even gotten the book done when I started the campaign, and so that's kind of putting the cart before the horse.
Right.
Yeah.
So, roughly, how much of the production did you have completed before you went live the first time?
I think we were kind of working a little. We were a little past 10, page 10.
Out of how many pages total?
That's 27.
Okay.
It was originally 24, but then I kept finding reasons to extend the book a little bit, and I finally found a way to kind of end the book at page 27. And the 27th page is actually just a filler page. I thought about like just taking an image, maybe from something from the book, and kind of putting a to be continue or something. Yeah. So it's really 26, but.
Right. So you were roughly a third of the way done through the.
Yeah. So.
When you launched.
Stupid me.
Well, I mean, it is recommended that you get a minimum of 25% of the book done prior to launch, going live. But, as you mentioned previously, the more the better. The more you can get done and out of the way prior to going live, the better, because it just takes off so much weight off your shoulders, because you can spend more of that time going on your promotional tour, advertising the book, getting your name out there.
Yeah. Well, when I ended my campaign early, I promised myself that I would never start another campaign unless all the artwork was done.
Well, that's a pretty good idea, because it gets you ahead of the game, basically.
Yeah.
What you have to worry about at that point is the lettering, and
I guess lettering is actually kind of the easier part of that. Once you find a kind of a method for proofreading, and then because I'm trying to knock out two birds with one stone, so what I do is I proofread a page and I run it by as many people as I can, and then when I get that, I send my letterer that page, and then I take the second page and then proofread that, and then I send that one after he letters the first page. So I'm trying to get two birds done, kill two birds with one stone.
Now, what about in terms of the other part of the editorial process, whereby you want to make sure from page 1 to page 26 the book flows properly, that there aren't any breaks in the story or the character arcs, things like that. Do you also approach it from that perspective and share with as many people as you can, or like maybe a dedicated editor or someone who you really trust to check for. I'm blanking out. What's the term for making sure the whole thing flows together and that there aren't any like loopholes or well, not loopholes. That's the wrong word too. Continuity. Making sure you got continuity.
I was pretty I don't know if militant was the right word, but when I was doing the storyboards and I'd send them to Sherwin and he'd draw them and send them back, I was pretty militant about continuity. If I'd look at the first page and look at the second page, and I'd go back and say, you need to get rid of that. Does it make any sense? Why does he, like for instance, the page you're looking at right there on the video, I actually had to draw a storyboard because all of a sudden he went from like coming out of the water and he had no gear to all of a sudden he has all this gear on, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So I had to do a second. I had to make a new page 2 where he's putting on all this gear. He's putting on the headband and he's putting on so it explains where that came from.
So you fleshed it out more, added a few more panels.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I do that. So I was pretty militant about continuity.
Yeah, otherwise it would be too drastic. Scene change, whatever.
Yeah, like what the hell? How did he get all that stuff? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's a pretty bare bones crew. It's pretty much me, Sherwin, and the guy doing the lettering is Dean, and the lady doing coloring for the colored version is Shane.
Okay, so 4 total.
That's 4. There's only really 4 of us.
Now, on your first attempt, what was there that complete team as well, or
no? It was just me and Sherwin pretty much.
Oh, okay. So you as the author and Sherwin as the artist, right?
Yeah. Well, I was also the storyboard artist, because I figure it's better to show the artist what you want instead of just tell them.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
People look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. What's so crazy about that? A picture is just as good as a script.
Well, I think it's definitely helpful. I guess it kind of depends on your dynamic with your artist. Some people have thoroughly written, detailed scripts, breaking everything down to the most minute detail. And some also include, on top of that, like storyboards or thumbnails. So you get an idea so that the artist has an idea. All right, this is the angle we're looking at them from.
I kind of have that. I kind of have that dynamic with another artist I work with for my webcomic, Omar. I have to explain every inch and every detail. It's a little annoying, but he puts a lot of effort in what he's doing.
Right.
So it's constantly messaging back and forth. Okay, and we're just kind of it's.
Well, it also means that Omar cares about the finished product and wants to make sure he's doing your product good.
Oh yeah, and I love him for that. It's great. I just Sherwin, I can say, hey, this is what I show him what I want. He gets it. If there's any changes I need him to make, he does it right away. But besides that, he knows exactly kind of what I want.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we know. I don't have to explain much to him.
Now, so you're talking about webcomics, and you've got this campaign for a printed comic.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two?
Well, I'm going to do a Melvin webcomic, kind of explaining that, because there's a lot of questions people have about. Because right now the thing I can tell you is the first issue, and then everything after that is like concept ideas I have. Kind of work one issue at a time. But everything beyond that is just like concept ideas. And then they're like, well, where'd he come from? And I thought, what if I did a webcomic that kind of would answer those questions? And it would also act as like support for the campaigns, any campaigns involving Melvin, or I do like a comic book called Deathcore, and there's like one mentioning of Melvin in it, like, you know, he's the reason why all these characters got killed and they're going to the afterlife, right? But then there's there's an expanding of a universe there.
So this is the webcomic is more or less like a prequel. His Melvin's story.
Well, the first story arc in the webcomic is going to be. I had ideas for an issue 0 and an issue half, and I'm basically combining them together. It's going to be like a 2-part. It's going to be like a part part 1's going to be about him growing up on this farming planet and whatnot after after he was spared by God, and God sends him, kind of a Superman kind of thing where he sends him to a farming planet and he grows up on this farming planet. But farmers, they are territorial, so they're fighting with other farming families.
All right, so it is Melvin's origin story, how he came to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
The printed comic, excuse me, is all his adventures.
Yeah, and the webcomic is going to kind of deal with stuff that maybe needs to be explained. What about his training as a merc? Maybe I'll go into that. Maybe I'll cover a story arc about how he went to get revenge against those who killed his his wife and kid, and how he found how he found he was going to kill his family's killers, but he decided what can I do to these people that life hasn't done already, kind of thing. See, I have concepts.
So the webcomic is going to be an ongoing thing. You're going to
it's going to be an ongoing thing. It's going to cover all the stuff that the comic book series does not.
So it's going to be like a collection of one-off stories,
or story arcs. Story arcs that are not in the series.
Okay.
I mean, no one else has thought of that idea, have they?
I'm just trying to understand where you're going with the project. So you don't anticipate having any like overlap between the webcomic and this, other than it being the same character ultimately.
Yeah. I'm gonna have other like webcomics too. It's just a good way to kind of expand a universe. Image used to kind of do that with their characters, like you'd have Youngblood 3 going, they'd have these flip books, and you have Youngblood 3, and then you'd flip around and they'd introduce Supreme or something, or Supreme would show up in like Bloodstrike number 5 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd be expanding the universe that way, or Chapel would show up in Spawn number 13. And then you find out that Chapel is originally was Spawn's killer. And so there's a connection between Spawn and Youngblood, or like Youngblood would show up in Wildcats number 3. So it's a nice way to expand the universe and have connections with all these characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The physical book, that I presume you intend on making it a regular ongoing series. In other words, it's like your prime IP.
Yeah. All right. Well, every universe needs a flagship title.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Flagship title. Well, let's check out this video here.
Oh yeah. Well, it is. Yeah, it's already 2021.
Yeah, indeed it is. It's like just yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Is it just me, or has your artist, what's his name again?
Sherwin.
Sure.
Sherwin K.O. Sains.
Is it just me, or has he improved significantly since the first attempt of Melvin 1?
Well, I always, well, that's not his. That's Rob Ewing's
Okay.
cover. He did one for me.
Okay.
But
Um,
well, I mean, if you take a look at the tweets I put out, he actually has improved.
cool deal.
I always try to make sure I push my artists to strive for don't just do the bare minimums, to go a notch above.
Absolutely. I love the mountain work here.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so this is a second promo video for the.
No, it's the same. It's the same one, I think. It's the different icon.
Oh,
Yeah, see those two pictures? Yeah. I don't know if icon is the right word, but
well, this looks like it's showing interiors on the preview of the video.
yeah. And then if you hit the side button, then it goes to that. Yeah.
And this is like the cover. Oh, but the promo video itself is the very same thing.
It's the same one.
Oh, okay, so you did this as opposed to just having a still image of the cover.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a new video made, but I don't. I think the guy probably had too much on his plate already, so I never heard back from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about reaching out to another promo video person to see what they can put together for you?
Yeah, I could do that. That definitely something I consider doing because I would like to have a new promo video on there.
Cool deal. And Indiegogo campaigns, it allows you to more space, so you can upload, still images of like interiors and stuff like that if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I used to couldn't figure out how to do that. I'd shrink it to the specific size, and then I'd try to upload it, and then it'd say Earl, and I'm like, I told Askrick Piper, what does that mean? Earl, that's an internet thing, isn't it? He's like, you're supposed to save it and then upload it. And I was like, after that, I was like, oh.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Do you mean Earl as in URL?
URL, yeah.
Okay, Universal Resource Locator. Yeah, that's basically a web address.
Yeah, it's like
source information.
So once I figured that out, the rest was kind of easy. And then I had somebody kind of proofread my pitch there. So.
Oh, you mean this part right here?
The whole thing, but yeah.
Okay.
As you can see, I put if you scroll down, you can see the new original cover by Vic King.
Right here?
No, that's the Rob Ewing cover. That's Sherwin's cover. You can scroll back up. Scroll back up. There you go.
Oh, all right. That's the cover?
That's gonna be the new original cover.
And that's by Vic King. Oh yeah, there it is.
It's done by Vic King, and then I had my colorist Shane. I had her color it.
All right. I want greetings. My name is Timothy Lee Olson, the writer and creator of Melvin. I know you want to read the best action comic around, and I believe I've created that comic book. The hero is a mercenary named Melvin who must traverse dangerous terrains and fight even more dangerous tyrants on an alien world if he hopes to save a princess from a murderous cult. Melvin will have at least 27 action-packed pages drawn by newcomer Sherwin. Do you pronounce it K-O?
That's how I pronounce it. It's Sherwin K-O Sains.
Okay. Sains with an original cover done by Vic King. variant cover is done by Sherwin, K.O. Sains, and Rob Ewing. So you got the Vic King cover.
Now, digital. A wise man did mention you should always have a digital copy available, because if you don't offer a digital, you're leaving money on the table.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it said that it can't hurt because you're gonna have to generate a print file anyway to send to the printers, and you may as well, because there's going to be a number of backers who, particularly internationally, are going to prefer a digital book instead of
what I do is when I'm pitching to somebody and they're not quite sure, I say, well, if you're not quite sure, you should check out the digital copy because it's only $5.
Right.
If you're not sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can do that too. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'd have to be retarded not to.
Okay.
That's
one approach. And also it's usually international backers who lean towards the digital, so that they can save from the cost of shipping, since it tends to be expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Now you'll notice one added if you go down. There, of course, you notice one cover that's been added recently. That would be the colored Melvin perk right there with a cover done by John Dillard.
Wait, are you talking about in the perks tier section, or are you talking about?
I mean the right there. Right there.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Now,
now it may look a little different, but you know what? Artists like John Dillard, you just kind of let them do what they want.
So what was the main thing that you were thinking about suggesting he modify?
I didn't suggest anything. He just asked them for a bunch of references and asked a few questions. And
gotcha.
I figure with somebody with that kind of caliber of art, just let them. You know that saying. There's some actors you direct, and some actors you just get out of the way.
Right. Exactly.
So
Cool.
It was quite an honor to have him do a cover for my project.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, totally. That looks good.
Yeah.
Well, oops, sorry. Yeah,
it was too late to change the original cover on that one tier right there because somebody already claimed.
Oh, right. You'd have to.
I will have to admit, a few times in the beginning, I had to kind of metaphorically pull the car over and do some fine tuning. Like hide certain tiers and then make copy tiers, that kind of thing, because I forgot certain things here and there. But but once I got that fixed, everything was pretty much smooth sailing.
Yeah. When you have at least one person who backed a tier, then if you need to make any changes or edits, then you basically have to hide that tier and then create a new one. And
copy of pretty much the one you already have.
Yeah, like copy and paste it and then rename it so that it doesn't share the same name as another. Kind of like when dealing with file names on a computer. And the original one that had the mistake in it. So round car. Now, this is a suggestion. I think you can still make adjustments in go on your story page. You might consider kind of highlighting at the top of each of these images who did this cover, who's the artist and the colors behind it. And
funny thing, I briefly thought that for a second. I'm like, oh, well, it's already listed. But I thought about doing that for like a split second of just doing that. Like, oh, and you're suggesting that I totally should do that, shouldn't I?
I think it would make more sense so that people can tell that there's a different, or can better see the clear distinction between them. Like here, the second one and the third one, they look like covers. But this one, it looks like a print to me.
Yeah.
Because or virgin cover, that doesn't have any branding on it.
Yeah.
So at first glance, this tells me this is probably a print or a trading card or a postcard.
Okay.
And so, I mean, if you preface it and all, then I think it'll make it clearer and more, proof, if you will.
I should really get back to that one guy. He was Vic King suggested this guy to me to do the logo for the original cover, and he was quite busy at the time. He said, "But come back to me in a few weeks," and so I might send him another message because I definitely want someone to create a logo for that.
Well, so are these just like stand-in logos? This one and this one?
No.
So are you actually making a unique logo for every cover?
Well, for this
logo?
for this one, I think for the second, if I do another campaign, I'll definitely have a more uniform Melvin logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of branding, it makes more sense to have the same logo because, you want this to be a continuing series. You want people to get familiar with your brand, your stamp, your imprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here, if you look close enough, you'll see Vic King's signature.
Yeah.
But here, I have no clue who did it. Here, I have no clue who did it. So that's why it would be here to make it blatantly clear who did the art and that it's in fact a cover to choose from for the campaign.
Okay.
And then you've got a goal of 2,000.
Yeah, which I was told was a good idea because it's manageable.
And it's a flex goal. So the advantage I mean, I guess flex goals can be good because it can tell the backer that, regardless of whether it reaches the flex goal, then the plans are most likely that the creator will do whatever they can to get the product out there to the people who do back it, even if it doesn't reach the goal.
Yeah, I think so. And to me, it's like, at least like 20 people will have what you've made. And it doesn't mean the stuff left over. You can't just like find another way to sell or something.
Right. So you're at 20% of your goal so far. So far so good. It says 40 days left. So does that mean you decided to do a full 60 days of funding from the get-go?
No, I originally had 30. Somebody highly recommended that I extend it another 30.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you want every opportunity you can to make sure you hit that goal.
Yeah.
Funding, because if you don't hit your funding goal, then you won't be able to go in demand.
Yeah.
To bring in more potential backers, especially like backers who come in on your campaign late or are on the verge of missing it.
Yeah.
So you did do the what's common in Comicsgate where you got 2 30-day funding campaigns. That's pretty much what you're doing. You started with the 30 and then you extended it another.
Yeah, well, I went on someone's recommendation. I got the recommendation when I was on Critical Blast, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. I was going to wait till the end of my first month and then extend it, but they had pretty good reasoning of why I should extend it now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's all right. And it's
When all is said and done, you're still basically at 60 days of funding, right? Total?
it was when I extended it, it was actually 59 days of funding because I think I had already gone through like maybe a few weeks when they suggested it.
So, oh, okay, all right, yeah. So it's more or less still 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's all I'm getting at. Yeah, because I mean, whether you did it then or whether you do it at closer to 30 days, then you're golden. You know, the point. I guess the bottom line is you just want to make sure you don't wait to the very, very last minute and accidentally screw up and it closes prematurely, you know?
How so?
Well, so if you don't do the extension, as I understand,
Oh, right.
you get the choice of, do I extend it 30 during the extension? You've got like, I don't know, is it a checkbox selection or a bullet selection? Where do you want to extend 30 days or 60 days? If you choose 30 days, then you're telling Indiegogo that you're cutting it off at 30. If you want to do the full second 30-day round of funding so that you have a total of 60, then you choose the 60-day, which is kind of confusing to first timers on Indiegogo. And I think it's Indiegogo's fault for being kind of confusing in the way they phrase it. Because when I think extension, I'm thinking you choose 30. So you extended another 30. But what you're supposed to choose if you want to go full 60 is you're supposed to choose the 60-day option to make sure it continues on. If you don't, and you just choose 30, and let's say, for example, you are not yet funded, then your campaign essentially closes, and then your campaign goes to closed status because they think that you only wanted to do 30 days. Now, if you chose the 30 days and you had already reached your funding goal, then it will have given you the opportunity to go in demand. So it would be effectively 30 days of funding followed by in demand.
Yeah.
As an online store. Per my understanding, when it comes to in demand, you set that up from the very beginning. You tell Indiegogo, all right, here's my campaign. I'm going live on this date or in this many days. And then after it's done funding, assuming I hit the funding goal, then I do want to go in demand. I want to opt in. But that again is pending your being able to hit your goal. So that's what I'm saying. Let's see. So you're doing the usual 30 days of funding.
Yeah,
the
pretty much.
30 days of funding and then in demand. Yeah. Cool.
And as you notice, my tiers, I guess that's what you call them, tiers. I kept it pretty simple. I didn't do anything too crazy. Just pretty much what I had.
You got the digital version. You got a couple people interested in that. Cool. You got the original book, which is the printed copy, right?
Yeah.
Ships to European Union, U.S., Canada, Australia. So you don't ship to Mexico or the Virgin Islands or?
I guess if I have to do another campaign, I guess I have to make sure I include more places.
I mean, I thought by default
It says worldwide. That's not very specific.
you choose domestic or international. I don't know how it's set up on the back end because I've never done a campaign. So
When you select all the countries you'll go to, you'll ship to. And I figured most of them are probably like the U.S., the UK, and probably Australia at most.
yeah, because I think there's some. I think there's some backers in like the Middle East and in India. So you're also wait. Are they part of the European Union, the EU?
I don't really know who's in the EU these days.
Yeah, yeah. But then isn't the UK excluded from the EU now that they had Brexit?
I don't know. I don't understand any of that stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know any.
I presume you'll want to ship to the UK because we have a big CG presence out there.
Yeah.
And as I understand, there's also a Comicsgate Japan as well.
I've seen that. Yeah. I should have probably woulda, shoulda, coulda, but like anything I don't consider this campaign, I can always do in the next campaign.
Or I assume the potential backer can just reach out to you maybe and
Probably
if you're willing to ship to them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right. So you got Melvin #1 original. So this is the original cover, right?
Yeah. Well, old original cover is gonna look more like the one on the left now. So.
Wait, so so this
Like
one on the left is what's supposed to show here.
Yeah, but I can't change that because someone already claimed it. See.
Gotcha. All right.
You can't.
Now it's clicking in my head. I guess I'm being a little slow here. Then you've got the first issue printed with the Rob Ewing cover.
Yep.
Which is this one on the left here.
Yep.
And then you've got the Sherwin Sains cover.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, since you were going with consistency here, Melvin #1, original Melvin #1, Rob Ewing, why didn't you go Melvin #1, Sherwin Sains?
It's just one of those things like, oh, well.
Yeah, so now there's at least one claimed. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully people figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you've got Melvin #1 Dillard cover. All right, so that one is back on track to following that convention, that naming convention.
Yeah. Now, if you want to know about the second one version of that, where it's supposed to be all three, the original and all the covers, and it's only for Australia.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Go down.
Oh, you mean this thing here?
Yeah, I can explain that. I had that set up, and somebody had already claimed it, and I didn't. I noticed there's all the other countries except for Australia, so I just made another one that's basically the same thing, but it only goes to Australia.
So original 1 and 2 alt. That means you get 3 books with 3 different covers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, it was pretty much all the it was the original, then the first alternate cover, and the second alt cover.
All right. So let me figure this out. So by original, you're talking about this one.
Yeah.
And
then that one
is this one. Alt 2 is this one.
Yeah.
So you're literally getting 3 books.
Yeah.
For $20.
Yeah.
So you're
pretty good deal.
$6. Oh, actually, it was originally 30, and then there's a discount now that kicked in. So So it's on sale for 20. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So originally it was like $10 plus $10 plus $10 is 30. All right. And this is hold on. All right. Huh. All right. So you got 3 covers sent to quote unquote everywhere but Australia.
So I saw that, so I was like, I'll just make another one that's the same, pretty much the same thing, and it goes to Australia.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was a quick fix.
All right. So help me understand this. Why do you have a tier where you can get the original and the first 2 variant covers, but none of these multi-pack tiers includes the Dillard cover?
Because the Dillard cover was added later, and it's the difference is that's going to be the pages inside are going to be fully colored too.
Oh, the Dillard cover.
It's going to be the inside pages are going to be colored.
Whereas the other ones are all black and white
Yes.
interiors.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Full colored pages. There it is.
Yeah.
Full colored pages.
It's probably the second popular thing besides the tier that has all the standard covers.
Huh. In the future, when you set up your tiers, you might want to specify in the black and white interiors in the description that is black and white, so that it differentiates it from being full colored. I mean, I know from one perspective it's kind of self-explanatory.
Right. Some people might not get that. Yeah.
Yeah, like me. Call me dumb, but sometimes I have to have something like so blatant it slaps me in the face.
Some people out there think I'm pretty dumb too, so it's all right.
So it's like, all right, so okay, so this is full color interiors, and you get the Dillard cover. Okay. All right.
Sounds like you're kind of sold on that one already.
Well, I am a fan and of Dillard draws. I like his art style. And
Who doesn't? Who doesn't like that work?
so that's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of maybe a Captain America cover.
Yeah, like the Heroes Reborn cover, only it's not so dumb.
Yeah. All right. So I might have asked you this, but what was the all right? So Melvin, this property is kind of inspired by, you said, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, pretty much early Image, that kind of thing.
All right. And remind me again what the how you decided to, or why you decided to give them
Yellow skin.
yeah, yellow skin versus red versus.
Well, it's a nod to The Simpsons. I kind of came up with the idea when people were making a big deal about like the way characters looked skin tone wise.
Okay.
Instead of like good stories, and thought, well, how about I make my characters with none of those skin tones, and skin tones like red, yellow, green, purple, and none of the skin tones we have.
Gotcha. Well, some might say that Asians are yellow. They'll go, hey, wait a minute. But then they probably also made the comment that the Simpsons are Asians.
Well, I don't think you guys are banana yellow.
Not banana yellow, that's true. unless you have jaundice, I guess.
Then that would be a problem.
It would be. I like this weapon here. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So we got some interiors here.
Yep. See, she ain't that much of a pushover.
Right.
And then we get into the colored version.
Yeah.
I really like how it makes the pages kind of. I think people are really gonna like the colored version.
When it comes to villains and monsters, did you already have a pretty clear idea where you were going in terms of
Well,
what it would look like and stuff, or did you like just give a general description and left it to the artist to?
Well, I had my storyboards, and I kind of had him. I drew him my way, and then I allowed him to do it his way.
Ah, gotcha.
So yeah, because originally our Jonas, he didn't look like that. That was all Sherwin's idea right there. And the only thing I told him about the monster is that I wanted it to look like a mix between the Violator and a Xenomorph.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a mishmash of those.
And then I showed him a picture of I don't know if you know who Lauren Southern is.
Sounds familiar, but
well, anyway, so I showed him a picture of her, and I said I want the princess to look sort of like her.
Oh, okay, all right. What has she been in, Laura Southern?
She worked for Rebel Media, which is kind of like the Canadian version of Fox, I think.
Oh, okay. What was she, like a newscaster, or?
I think she's like a hey, what up, Cross? She's I guess you could say a field journalist or something.
Oh, okay.
She's one of those people that actually go to the place where something's happening and reports it.
Gotcha. Welcome, Cross Comics. Thanks for joining us. So on the this might just be shadow, but underneath the jawline and the tongue, is that like dripping saliva or blood?
Probably a little of both.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, like the colorist actually made some of the stuff like which I originally thought was supposed to be saliva, made it look like blood, so it looks like its tongue is constantly covered with blood. And I thought that's a cool idea. I'm gonna roll with that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Some more color interiors.
Like look at that the part where he hits the beast.
Uh-huh.
Look at all that blood flying out of its mouth.
Right.
And I kept the stretch goal pretty simple. I have already budget cards made up that cards if we ever reach. Just two examples there.
Argonis.
Yeah.
Strength. All right. So you're gonna have like stats
and then a brief. You can't really fit much on a card.
Do you anticipate turning it into like an RPG card game?
I would love to be able to do that in the future, yeah. But I'd like to be able to have like more finished, more cards made up before I do that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Nova Blast who's looking to create a comprehensive.
Yeah, he's totally doing that.
Game engine, yeah.
He's got it all mapped out. I'm like, dude, I can't follow all that, but it's awesome sounding.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. Really?
It's very detailed.
Rebel Media is an independent news organization. Okay, all right. Now called Rebel News. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Oh, they changed it, huh? No, I stole that. Well, I say it. I didn't steal, but John Dillard used my likeness for a character, a guy getting punched in the gut. So I took that. I decided I was going to use that for my picture, because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, so that's what you look like.
Yeah. I had to make a bunch of stupid faces. I'm definitely not a model.
So he had the reference material.
He sent me a picture of him going like this.
Wait, hold on. Say again.
He sent me a picture of him going like this. And I'm like, oh. But after that, he said like, no, turn your head. So I thought he literally meant this way. No, he meant what he meant is that he meant slightly this way. And then
yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck? No, dude, it's like, oh god. I often contemplated just having somebody just punch me in the gut and then take a picture. Just literally punch me in the gut so I can help sell sell the picture right there.
Make sure it's like your best friend or a family member.
like, dude, I won't take this seriously if you just punch me in the gut. I won't take it personally if you just punch me in the gut.
Well, did he ask for the photo reference specifically so that he?
The problem is, look at my eyes. I have really heavy eyelids, so I can't go. I can't get them wide enough.
All right.
So,
but I mean, was he doing that for fun? You know.
No, he was finishing it. He wanted to have some of the likeness of some of his friends in the book.
He wanted.
He wanted some of the likeness of some of the people he knows on in the book. So I think he also drew Marsupial's face.
In your book or his book?
His book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
you're going to be a character in the Buckler?
Oh, I'm a no-name person who gets punched in the gut.
Oh, okay. All right.
He just needed likenesses of people that were going to get their ass kicked by the buckler. So I get punched in the gut.
Oh, cool! It's neat to have cameos in books. That's cool. Yeah. I was wondering. All right.
And that's Sherwin right there.
Artist and inker.
Yep, he did and then that's our letterer.
Well, actually, so how did you come across Sherwin? Did you go to?
I knew him from a few years prior on Facebook, and I was trying to draw Melvin and do all the stuff myself, and some dude had the audacity of saying I'll never make it in comics because his crappy comic book, he had fully funded it, and he was basically talking some crap. So I contacted him. I said, dude, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you redraw my I only have because Melvin was only 5 pages. I said I'm gonna have you redraw these pages, and then we're gonna make a comic book. And the rest is history.
So he's the one who was talking smack about you?
No, not Sherwin. No.
Oh.
No. Follow me here. I think the guy was named. We'll just call him Nick. This guy named Nick. He had a comic book that looked, in my opinion, god awful.
All right.
He got it fully funded, and he was acting like he was the shit.
All right.
So he's talking crap to me, saying, "Oh, you'll never make it in comic books." And I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot do. So I said, "All right, I'll show you." And so I contacted Sherwin, and I said, "This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hire you to be my artist. We're gonna redraw these 5 pages I'm gonna do, and we're gonna expand it into a full book."
Okay.
And here we are.
Okay.
See, you get me fired up, and I'm capable of anything.
There you go. So you found the talent you needed, and you came across him through knowing him on Facebook.
Yeah, because he was drawing. I think he did like a Lobo. He did like a Lobo drawing, and he's pretty good. So And this guy sent me a message saying he would do the dialogue for the words in the book.
Did Dean James have like a portfolio that he showed you of his previous work with lettering?
Well, I've already seen it. I've already. He didn't show me a portfolio, but he sent me. He lettered like he did like he lettered one of the pages and sent it back to me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I was like, all right, this will do. This will do.
All right, good deal. Letter artist and animator from Melbourne, Australia. Plays video games in my spare time, which is never anymore. And yeah, lol.
Dean James.
Others who are part of the project. Vic King.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put Shane's picture below his. She hasn't sent me a little blurb, so I'm just gonna say Shane. I think I forgot her last name. Colorist.
Wait, what? This is a tongue, isn't it?
I needed. He didn't quite have a picture, so I used that as his.
It looks like this vampire is licking her first, licking her neck. It looks like a tongue. That's kind of funny how it's wrapped around like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, is that a tongue, or am I looking at it wrong?
Ask. I don't know.
Oh, okay. And
yeah. Rick wanted to point out once again that something we all know, which is he's on the cover of the Buckler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool deal.
Rub it in, Rick. Why don't you just rub it in? You're on the cover of the Buckler.
Indie artist that rose from fan art Twitter to contribute to numerous indie comics, including variant covers, and now a successfully funded indie comic of his own, Asile. So, Cross Comics, was that another instance of getting a cameo on the book, or did you buy some kind of be in the book tier?
I think that. I guess we'll let him answer.
All right. 419, Melvin #1. 20% of 2,000 flex goal.
You should totally. You were eyeing the full colored version with the Dillard cover. You should totally back that one.
It's definitely tempting.
Oh, you know you want to.
Is there a particular reason why in the story section you didn't upload Dillard's cover? I mean, I know it was added later in the campaign, but since you're showing all the other covers, the other three, it would probably be cool to so you could get a close-up look or a zoomed-in version of.
I could totally do that. No problem.
Because in this preview, this thumbnail, it looks like a bunch of it is cut off, so you don't know what the rest of it looks like, and it would be cool to.
Yeah. I could totally do that. Yeah, no problem. Okay, but that wasn't my objective.
Me and John, good friends, and he asked if I wanted it to, and I said yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool deal.
Cool, man.
All right. So, I am giving you the floor. Please share with the world how you can be found on social media.
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on under Tim Lee Olson. You can find me on Facebook as Max Olson. Max Lee. My bad. And I believe I'm on Minds.
Oh, okay. Oh, you joined Minds. Cool.
Yes.
I have yet to do that. I'm kind of slacking.
Well, you probably can't get on Parler, so you know.
Yeah, it seems like they got shut down. I don't know if it's going to be permanent or if they'll find a way to get back.
Oh, Rick might know.
And I don't know if they're still going to pursue a lawsuit against Amazon. Is it?
I think they are. I don't know. I was on Parler for like a day.
I've been on them for a while, but I hadn't done a whole lot of interactions. I did a bunch of sharing and read a bunch of the posts, but yeah.
Honestly, I was on there for like a day, and the next day it was gone.
Oh man, that's crazy! All this censorship is insane. Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and YouTube under WyzGyz Entertainment, on Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Drop some comments down below the video. Let us know what you're most excited about on Melvin #1. And now that back.
And back it because it'll be the best decision of your life.
Cross Comics says Parler will be back in the next couple weeks. Oh, good. Nice. Yeah, so thank you to everyone in chat for joining us today. Thanks to everyone who watches this on replay. And thanks to our very special guest, Tim Olson. Y'all have a good day now. You hear? Oh, actually, this view is better because it doesn't cut off the edges, the sides. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube channel. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.